Talking Ball Y'all Media proudly brings to you Friday Night Gridiron, powered by Diamond Productions. Their motto is, we don't set the bar, we raise it. Now let's head out to the stadium and join the voice of the Maroon Tide, Clay Sweet and Ricky Whitaker.
Ricky Whitaker, it's been too long, my friend, but we are in a familiar place tonight as the Picayune Maroon Tide set to open the 2025 campaign at a historic spot, Milner Stadium here, just a couple blocks off the beach in Gulfport, and we are very excited to get this season going as high expectations for our Picayune Maroon Tide. I have the same feeling for the Admirals from Gulfport, so really, this sets up to not just be the anticipation, the excitement for a season opener, but really a doozy of a matchup here in Gulfport tonight.
It's going to be a great one, Clay, and it is a typical muggy August afternoon here in South Mississippi. Real grass field here at Milner Stadium. You don't see a lot of that anymore, and a slow, steady rain been taking place really for the last 12 to 15 hours or so. So we'll see how the field conditions play out, but a muggy 80 degrees here at kickoff tonight.
Yeah, going to be that type of night. Slick, as we've worked ourselves into a bit of a lather to get this equipment going tonight. We appreciate Jackson Harrelson, a new addition to the Talking Ball Y'all team. He'll be providing video over on the Talking Ball Y'all YouTube channel. So you'll find that on the Talking Ball Y'all YouTube channel. Search it up. Should be able to find it there. And Rick, let's jump right into it. You know, this is a team in Gulfport that really spanked the Maroon Tide a year ago. A couple years ago, we had what you deemed a thriller here down at Milner Stadium. That was one that the closer, Amarion Tyson, was able to have a sack late and close that one out as Gulfport was driving to potentially try to win this one. This rivalry, a big history between these two clubs. The uniforms will look great when both of these teams roll out of the locker rooms momentarily. But kind of give us your take on the Gulfport Admirals, as you had a great interview with Blake Pinnock just a day ago. Really kind of cool. It set the podcast back in the fact that we normally try to get that preview podcast out early in the week. But it was really pretty cool to hear him just the day before this matchup.
Yeah, Coach Pinnock is always kind enough to spend some time with us. But you mentioned it, Clay, the game last year at Lee Triplet Field, nothing short of a thriller. It was not that at all. It was a beatdown. 416 yards of total offense on the ground is what Gulfport did. But Gulfport, kind of an anomaly of a team last year. We thought as they took on Brandon the following week, they had a chance to maybe win that game. They got blown out themselves, 62-0, ended up losing to Ocean Springs and knocked out of the playoffs in the first round by the Petal Panthers. That's two teams, Clay, that Picayune took care of business of in the regular season. So a bit of an anomaly, but one thing's for certain, Clay, Coach Pinnock recognized it. It's really been the statement that you hear a lot around the Gulfport community. They believe they've got a great defense, and they believe that ramping that defense up is going to be what helps them turn the page.
Yeah, you heard him use the term physical a lot in the interview with you, which is interesting, right? Because Picayune's going to pride itself on certainly in most matchups being the most physical club involved in those. You heard him talk about a week ago taking on an Oak Grove team that threw the football a bunch. He really thought he'd see I think he deemed it one of the best rushing attacks in all of the state tonight in Picayune. The contrast in what they saw last week, they being Gulfport with Oak Grove and then the Picayune. How do you think that kind of plays? And they have, although it was a scrimmage, a glorified scrimmage, they do have some of that first game type stuff out of their system. How do you think that kind of plays out tonight?
I think it helps, Clay, and if you look at it on the offensive side of the ball for them, one of the young men that did a lot of damage against Picayune a year ago, that's Cooper Crosby, 6 foot, 210 pounds. Going to be going to Louisiana Lafayette. That's where he's committed, had 3 touchdowns on the ground as well. But they've got a brand-new quarterback as well, and that's going to be Parker Nettles. He's a senior, 6 foot, 210. This is going to be his first live action, and he's throwing to primarily a new group of wide receivers. Coach Pennick said to us that he thought that was a talented group. They needed to be more talented there, but that's a group that's going to have to get in sync. So I think for them, and looking at what they lost, the offensive line, they're going to have some holes to fill there. So their offensive line, if they can hold up against this Picayune Maroon Tide defense that we think is going to be pretty good, I think it's going to make for a great night of football.
Yeah, it should be like one of those classic type matchups that you get down here on the Gulf Coast. You've talked about it a few times, Rick. This is normally a matchup that takes place week 3, week 4 of the season, kind of judge each other, check each other's oil before district play, but to get each other right out of the gates, speak to as head coach Cody Stogner and his scheduling. What have we seen, Rick? We've seen some real openers here in our coverage of the Maroon Tide.
Yeah, we have seen some doozies, Clay, and you've already mentioned it with Coach Pennick. You have a spring game against a team out of Alabama that we've played before in Theodore, and then you go and you play Oak Grove and a Jamboree. You're trying to see some good opponents. He knows this is going to be a good matchup. Coach Steiner done a great job of putting quality people on the schedule for his squad to get ready. But I think that's going to be one of the keys tonight, too, is you look at Gulfport's defense. We don't know if Peters is going to be in play tonight, but he's their best player on defense. He's a linebacker. He'll wear number 22 for them. He's got a lot of JUCO offers. And then Juice Robertson, he's going to be at their nose guard position, another big 270-pound guy. On the edge, Javen Anderson will be in number 3 for them. He's a long guy, over 6 foot, 225, and then number 91 for them. This is the guy everybody's been talking about in Nick Strickland. He's a Harrison Central transfer, stands at 6'1", 280. The Maroon Tide's going to have to get their pads on those guys up front.
Yeah, Rick, I've just tried to post for those of you that are looking at our ugly mugs. The real broadcast over on the YouTube channel, we're just trying to push traffic tonight. We know that you're kind of used to looking at us in this booth cam. I've tried to put the link there in the comment section. If I failed at that and you're kind enough, if you can go put the right link for the podcast as a group. Rick, man, it's a lot that goes into kind of the frantic pace and getting things set up. But, dude, it's not lost on me. The good time that we get to have covering Picayune football on a rainy, nasty majority of the day Friday. The Lord has blessed us with pretty nice skies here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. We'll see. You talked about the humidity. We'll see how that plays out as we're about 20 minutes out from kick. You're in the middle of our Malsey of Picayune pregame show. Malsey of Picayune. We appreciate their pregame sponsors. We'll head to our first break. When we return, we'll have more on this Picayune-Gulfport matchup as you're listening to our Malsey of Picayune pregame show.
Thanks for stopping by Malsey of Picayune. We're proud to be your family-owned GM superstore, serving Mississippi and Louisiana with new and used cars, trucks, and SUVs. Here, you're more than just a customer, you're part of the Malsey family. We offer a family-friendly atmosphere backed by GM-certified parts and service and a team that's here to help you every step of the way. Malsey of Picayune, it's small-town friendly service with big-time savings.
Protecting your personal belongings is a basic human instinct. You've worked hard for what you have. At Executive Storage, we are dedicated to providing you true, secure storage options and peace of mind. With 2 convenient locations to choose from, you can trust us to protect your personal, family, and business assets. Give us a call today at 601-798-4000 and let us help you protect your most prized possessions. The days of hiding your money in a mattress or burying it in the backyard are long gone. Our friends at Bank Plus can help you save for a rainy day. Hurry in and let their friendly staff help you with all your banking needs. Stop by any of their locations today at 115 Williams Avenue and 951 Memorial Boulevard in Picayune, or 105 North Main Street in Poplarville. Bank Plus is more than a name, it's a promise.
Looking to buy or sell your land, home, or commercial property in Pearl River County? Then it's time to call the hometown experts at Valente Real Estate. Our friendly local team is here to make sure your real estate dreams come true with personalized home searches, expert guidance, and flexible property showings that work around your schedule. From the first showing to the final signature, we're right by your side, making sure your experience is smooth, stress-free, and right on time. At Valente Real Estate, we believe in more than just closing deals. We build lasting relationships, one happy client at a time. So whether you're ready to find your dream home or sell your current property, visit us at 109 North Main Street in downtown Picayune, or give us a call at 601-799-3477. Valente Real Estate, where your next chapter begins.
Rick, as we normally would have Cody's interview at this spot, we spent a lot of time with Adam Feely on the preview podcast, and we talked about Cody being a bit under the weather, so we're trying to use our best discretion here tonight. Slick, we'll get Cody next week in a normal time slot, but for this week, we kind of thought better of getting Cody getting in those tight quarters when we really go shoulder to shoulder with him in this segment. But I'll let you kind of put on your coach's hat, tell us based on what you've heard in your conversations with some of the coaches, particularly Adam Feely there on Tuesday night, what you think the Tide's game plan will be tonight, and kind of what are a few things that you think this game will hinge on, some keys to victory for the Tide.
Let's start with the defensive side first, Clay, for the Maroon Tide. We've already mentioned Cooper Crosby. This is the first game of the season. As a head coach, you've got a little bit of a quandary right on your hands because you got to get the kids in game shape for 4 quarters, but you don't want to run a kid like Crosby 25 times in this game. You go back to the game a year ago, Crosby had 10 touches. He did a lot of damage with 10 touches, but I think controlling him at the line of scrimmage, seeing where he's at, they'll probably try to get him the ball out of the backfield. They may line him up in the slot. He's going to get his touches, but if you can contain him, you can put it all on Parker Nettles, and that's going to allow that front four for Picayune to put a lot of pressure on Nettles, who by all accounts, Clay, isn't going to be a speedy guy, maybe a 4.9 40 guy. So I think that's the game plan for them on defense. Offensively, what we've seen from the Maroon Tide in the past, Clay, is you see a lot of tails when you're on the opposing defensive side, meaning that if you see a tight end and wing back together, you know what's coming and where it's going to go, right? We've seen them spread that wing back out a little bit. That tells me that Coach Feely and Coach Steigner and that group feel comfortable that the guys up front for their offense can block. If we see that, that's going to open up a lot of different opportunities for Picayune to use to spread the ball around to other people. I think Hawthorne's going to get a bulk of the carries. I think Zay Dennis is going to be a nice mix-in, but I look for even Ontario Wilkins in the passing game.
Yeah, Rick, when you talk about it, why wouldn't you think that the Tide would be able to handle almost any line across the state? When you go from left tackle across the starting line for the Maroon Tide, it will be left tackle Eddie, Edgar, Cruz, Javen Bolden. Bolden's a kid that's garnered some Division I offers. Every JUCO in the state would love to have Mr. Bolden, but he does have a Southeastern Louisiana offer to his name. Jacob Nixon. Nixon, an interesting story. He's expected to get the start tonight at center. He had that really traumatic injury against Pearl River Central in a Week 1 playoffs last year. If you were with us or if you were at that ball game, you remember that long extended delay as Mr. Nixon had a gruesome break in his leg. He's battled back, and he is ready to go this season. We look for him to get the start at center tonight. And, Rick, he's 6'3", 300 pounds. We've seen clips of him in the offseason, bench pressing over 300 pounds. And he's a guy that may split some snaps, still maybe trying to figure out that center position after Brennan Williams had given you, 3 solid years starting there. A.K. Burnett to the right of Nixon, the right guard. A.K. Burnett, a really good athlete, a kid who played a ton of snaps a year ago, who's a really good football player. Prototypical guard in this Picayune offense and super athletic. He pairs well with Bolden, the other guard, and the way that they can run. Their footwork is elite. Mitchell Smith, speaking of a guy who can run, whose footwork is next level, Rick, he's that guy, and he's the reason that a lot of teams are going to have a tough time, I think, against the Maroon Tide, as a 6'4", 305-pound right tackle in Mitchell Smith, a Vandy boy committed to Vanderbilt, as rounding out the lineup, and then I'll let you speak to this group, is Ontario Wilkins. Wilkins, the tight end, he's 6 foot 195, the senior. And Rick, Adam has said, Cody has said, Adam being the offensive coordinator, Feely, Cody, the head coach of the Maroon Tide, have talked about this group leading the way. You've heard them by name. Kind of tell us what you expect their characteristics to be this year.
I mean, when you look at the success that the Maroon Tide's had the past few years, Clay, it's hard to say that this group is just superior to any group they've had, but size-wise alone, my goodness, this is a big bunch, an athletic bunch. As you said, a lot of these guys probably going to be taking some snaps on the defensive line as well. But I think what you get when you've got a guy like Mitchell on your left side, we've seen tackle over situations, what we call the stone set. You don't really have to do that. He can free that up, but you're talking about a front group that can move some lumber, and I look for them to get a start to do that tonight with a good test.
Yeah, this is going to be a good test. Why do you say that, Rick? You've heard it from the horse's mouth, and Coach Pennick, you've done, of course, the deep dive that Ricky Whitaker's known to do. Tell us what you expect on the other side, that defensive group tonight for the Admirals.
I think their front seven is going to be about as good as Picayune sees this year. Physical guys, the guys we mentioned already with Peterson and Anderson, the young man from Harrison Central that transferred, they've got some big, sizable guys up front, athletic guys, a good linebacking core. Secondary, they believe they've got some guys that are some playmakers, but that's another spot where they lost a few guys. But that front seven's going to be solid for Gulfport.
We'll break for the anthem and a prayer tonight. When we return, we'll dive deeper into this matchup. 10 minutes away on your Mossy Picayune pregame show.
A lot goes into powering this community. That's why your Touchstone Energy Cooperative wants you to know we've got you. It's a pledge to make sure you're always taken care of. A pledge we honor every day. From our member service representatives to our linemen and those making sure the power you use is there when you need it. We've got you. Always.
Brought to you by Coast Electric, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Friday night lights, hometown pride, and neighbors you can count on. That's what makes our community special. And that's exactly what you'll find at FNB Picayune Bank, your hometown bank. With 4 convenient branches in Picayune, you'll always see the same friendly faces ready to help, whether it's everyday checking or big life goals. Visit fnbop.com or stop by today, where banking feels like home.
A lot goes into powering this community. That's why your Touchstone Energy Cooperative wants you to know we've got you. It's a pledge to make sure you're always taken care of. A pledge we honor every day. From our member service representatives to our linemen and those making sure the power you use is there when you need it. We've got you. Always.
Brought to you by Coast Electric, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Visit fnbop.com or stop by today, where banking feels like home.
Awesome job by the Gulfport band tonight with our anthem and a beautiful prayer before that. So, pictures of South Mississippi right deep in August as you get a chance to hear a well thought out, well delivered, sincere prayer before this one gets underway. And then Gulfport's band, always good. They're showing off tonight pregame. Speaking of pregame, we're in our Malsey of Picayune pregame show. We're going to cut the live booth feed off as we approach kickoff. If you're out there taking in this, go to our YouTube channel. That's at Talking Ball, y'all. You just search up Talking Ball, y'all. And if anybody's out there taking in this, if you'd be kind enough to share the YouTube channel, we're going to kill the booth cam here in just a moment, and we'll go just to the YouTube as the Maroon Tide have made their way out of the locker room, and Mitchell Smith, Rick, leading the way. He will be joined as a captain tonight by Nolan Smith, Macon Burnett, Javen Bolden. Pretty good captain group there. Mitchell Smith is animated and is fired up, Rick. When you talk about the first guy off the bus, just to see if you're joining us on YouTube, I mean, a maniac right there, and the way he's come out of the locker room is, and I mean that sincerely, Mitchell Smith fired up to get this one underway.
Yes, he is. And, I mean, I've got chill bumps watching him. I'm not sure if it's adrenaline or fear. It might be a combination of both. But, my goodness, that is a big youngin'. And I think, as we mentioned, Clay, it's worth noting two quarterbacks getting their first starts tonight, and under some big lights here in Milner Field. We're expecting Colt Robertson to be the starting quarterback for the Maroon Tide. We already mentioned Nettles in his first start. So I think it's going to be important to really make sure that these guys settle in, right? Just do what they're supposed to do. Look for things that they're comfortable with the early play calls.
Yeah, that's a good call by you. Blake Pinnock, a kind of quarterback whisperer since we've been covering Gulfport, even back to his past Christian days in Ocean Springs. His system makes quarterbacks look good. Now, he's got a guy that he told you can really drive the football down the field. He really trusts Nettles. Nettles was the Top Gun Award winner, the MVP of the 601 Elite Camp. That is Wyatt Davis, a friend of the show, a friend of the podcast. He won that award with really some of the top quarterbacks throughout our state. That's a camp that was attended by Deuce Knight, to name a few, that tell you kind of how elite that camp and what Wyatt's grown that thing to be. Good on him, by the way. And so this should be a dandy of a matchup because he's really good at quarterback. And then Nolan Wilson, the Alabama commit, that we've gone nearly 25 minutes into this pregame show, and we're just now getting to, as he is going to be fun to watch coming off the edge, providing pressure. As you can hear that roar, that's good news tonight. We are on the visitor's side. You hear that a bunch tonight, you'll be happy wherever you're taking in this broadcast, as the Tide fans, anxious to see them, have made the trip down to Gulfport in big numbers. But I didn't want to speak on Nolan Wilson, Rick, and not give you a chance to speak to the Alabama commit.
Yeah, I think what really stands out about Nolan since he's been through this program is his closing speed. Got our attention early on as a youngster, running down on kickoff as the old wedge buster. Clay, he can close incredibly fast on a quarterback, faster than they think he's going to get there. We mentioned the speed of Nettles. I look for a lot of quick passes. If he has to hold on to it too long, that could be trouble for Mr. Nettles.
Clock shows we're less than 4 minutes out from kickoff. We appreciate you joining us on our Malsey Picayune pregame show. Kind of a sparse showing, to be honest, for the Gulfport home opener. You know, they're about to get an on-campus facility. It's going to be a turf field. Have to bus over here. That's going to be from all regards, and just the early clipping's going to be a tremendous place. But you lose a bit of history on the Mississippi Gulf Coast when you don't compete here at Milner Stadium, Lindy Callahan Field, and that's going to make me a bit sad, Rick. I always look forward to coming here, Pascagoula, Moss Point, some of those old Big 8 spots that are tremendous, just soaked in history. But not a great crowd across the way. I would think down below us here, Rick, Picayune's probably got Gulfport maybe 2-1 in a fan category.
Yeah,
as we've mentioned, Rick, the Talking Ball Y'all YouTube channel is where to see out. We've got it on us just to kind of help promote that channel, but go find us on the Talking Ball Y'all YouTube channel. Colt Robertson, you mentioned him, Rick. He's grown a lot since the last time that we saw him in pads, as he took a year off last year to get healed up, kind of take care of himself, take care of business, had a tremendous baseball season, has garnered a bunch of JUCO offers on the baseball diamond for the way that he can really pitch it. We'll hope that he can pitch it around a few times this year, too. Looks really good in his uniform, Rick. He's grown a lot since the last time you've seen him in action on a Friday night in pads other than a glorified scrimmage.
Yeah, he does look good, Clay. He's grown very tall, always been an athletic kid. I remember back when he ran track with my wife at Heritage, she just bragged all the time about how athletic this kid was. Young man is at a very young age could do a pistol. I'll let you look that up and see what that looks like, and then you can try one and see if you can do them yourself. But not an easy thing to do, but really excited to see Colt taking the snaps tonight.
Gulfport set to receive it as Edgar Cruz has hit a high hanging kick. Fielded at about the 4 and not going to make it back to the 20. Good coverage by your Picayune Maroon Tide coverage team. I believe Gulfport going to start at about the 18-yard line if it's spotted correctly. That was good coverage by your Tide. That was Burnett, Javari Barnett, getting down and making that play on special teams. They'll sneak it out to about the 19-yard line. So the 19 is where Gulfport will go to work. It will be 3 wides to the right of this formation. Off the left hip is the long tailback. A quick pitch and a catch to the 30, 35, 40 midfield. To the 40 of the Tide. Quickly, a nice job by Javis Hales. Caught it and able to get it all the way to the 36 is where it's spotted, and then there's a flag on the end of it. I believe this is going to go against the Tide as well, maybe a horse collar type tackle. But what a first play from scrimmage for Gulfport. Nettles got it out of his hands quickly, and then that was a nice run after the catch. And look at this, after one play from scrimmage, Gulfport will have it all the way to the 21 of the Tide.
Not a great start for the defense there. Just had the numbers there in trips, and nice job blocking by Gulfport's wide receiver crew.
Here's a handoff to Cooper Crosby. That's a good sign as the Tide pursued him well on the left side. Maybe a loss of 1 or back to the line of scrimmage off the left tackle, and what pursuit there for the Tide defensively. That was a good play made by, I believe that was Bolden over on that side, making a nice defensive stop.
Yeah, Crosby tried to get to the edge, was forced back in, and nice pursuit by that front 4. Good-looking bunch.
Shotgun, Nettles rolling out to his right here. And 2nd and 11, almost picked. A great read on the football, just couldn't grab it. That was Moto. That's a kid that we will call Moto throughout the year. Jamari Hathorn with a good read, almost had the takeaway. It was about a 5-yard out route, Rick, and when the wide receiver broke, so did Hathorn, almost had the pick.
Yeah, really nice break there by Moto, and we've seen that with Nettles on film, Clay. He likes to do some sprint outs to get some room. We mentioned he's not the fastest guy.
0-0 here in the early going. 3rd and 10, ball at the 21 of the Tide. Nettles for Gulfport rolls to his right, and it is incomplete. Short hopped his intended wide receiver as he was trying to find Camden Morgan with the pass. It's incomplete. That was Hathorn once again with textbook coverage. I'll have to say, good series here for Jamari out at the corner position. We'll have to call them by name as you've got two Hathorns out there. Jordan back at the safety spot. Jamari in corner coverage. Bring out the field goal unit here for Gulfport.
And Clay, Gulfport's going to have a brand new kicker and punter. Lost both of those guys at graduation. We'll see how special teams works in tonight.
This is a kick by Plant that is low and no good. So a big play to start the series, but a 39-yard field goal attempt goes no good. A big play, but then Picayune on the next three plays, Rick didn't give up a yard. So all of Gulfport's yardage there came out to Zay. Zay with a good spin will buy him to the 20. Out to Zay. Zay with a good spin will buy him to the 25. Thought about breaking it wide, Rick, but tucked back in tight, and it will be a 5-yard gain there by Zay Dennis. Zay going to have a big year for the Tide. I feel confident in saying that. 5'8", 130 is listed as a junior. Going to be a really good football player this year. We saw him be good for the Tide a year ago.
Yeah, really nice job there on first down to just get 5 yards, and Picayune coming out again with 2 wides outs, one of those being the wing, and got some nice yardage on that.
That's a formation that you wanted to see how it would fare. Here's another give. This one going to be underneath, inside action, and minimal gain, maybe 2, as Dennis cut that one up right away. We'll say 1.5, Rick. We'll call it a 3rd and 3. Tide have it going from right to left in front of Ricky and I. Gray bottoms, white tops for the Tide. Thing trimmed in maroon, that beautiful maroon headgear. Big 3rd, and let's call it a 3 to go. Toss to the left. Dennis in trouble, looking for the edge. Can he get it? It's going to take tremendous speed. A dive at the end. Did Zay get the first down? He did. What an effort. Just didn't look like he could get the corner, but his speed kept diminishing the angles for Gulfport, and then a dive. What a heady football play, Ricky Whitaker, to dive forward almost like it was breaking the pylon of the goal line to get the Tide a first down, bring up 1st and 10 from the 31.
Yeah, really nice effort there by Zay.
Beautiful effort. Go find us on the YouTube channel. That way you're not looking at the booth view tonight. It's a Talking Ball Y'all YouTube channel. Gave it to Agana. Kylan Agana's first snap of the ball game. Came in at fullback. He got it right away. Gained a yard. Gets it to the 32-yard line for the Tide. Tide at their own 32. 2nd and let's call it 9. 8:40 left in that stout Gulfport defense with the stop.
Yeah, Gulfport was ready for the wingback reverse there. We'll see Hawthorne work there. We'll see him work in at the tailback position as well.
He's one of my favorite players is Jordan, and the way that he's worked in the offseason has caught my attention. Body looks really good, prepared for a nice year is Jordan Hathorne. Here's Colt Robertson looking to throw, and he's going to have an incomplete pass at about the 41-yard line. That was Illett he was trying to find with it. A fastball incomplete. Oh. Crossing route there, Rick, or a little skinny post run by Illett, but it's going to be an incomplete pass. So Gulfport's first drive ended in a missed field goal. The Tide going to have to punt it away from their on 33-yard line. That's the 4-star Alabama commit back to punt it away. That is Nolan Wilson. He's got his heels at about his 18-yard line. Good snap back for Nolan Wilson, and he's hit a high hang time kick, drove the deep back to the 30. He's retreated to the 25, trying to make space, and he will be rocked at the 38-yard line by 2 Tidesmen who got there in a bad mood. You'll hear me say this a lot about Stallings this year, as Kelvin Stallings has his first pop of the season. Not a big kid, Rick, but he's violent, is Stallings. He is a fun one to watch. He's dressed in 3. He's 5'9", 175, and he's a striker, is Mr. Stallings. Just as sweet as he can be, he'll hug your neck if you're me or you on a sideline, and then he'll go out there and just rock someone as he did there. So Gulfport going to have it at their, let's say 36. Pistol formation for the Admirals. That's Crosby behind Nettles. Play fake, looking to throw it out to midfield, and it's caught. Fortenberry will make the tackle after the catch, but a pretty nice gain on the pitch and catch. That was Hales again with the catch. And I believe a face mask after the fact. And it will be, as Fortenberry was trying to reel in Hales, and in doing.
We thought we'd see him involved in the passing game, and does just enough, because had he not done that, he might still be running.
6:40 to go in.
He not done that, he might still be running.
6:40 to go in this opening quarter. 0-0 our score. Gulfport has gotten it to the 40 of our tie. Bunch formation, 3 over on the right. Here's a give to Cooper Crosby. He's put his foot in the ground and made a nice break straight upfield. He's beyond the 20, down to about the 16-yard line before Cooper Crosby is corralled. And that's where I don't like him, Rick. I don't like him going north-south because he's got a lot behind those pads. He's 6', 210, and when he gets headed north-south that quickly, he's a tough tackle, proved to be there. 1st and 10 for Gulfport, the 16 of the tie. Empty backfield now as they were going to direct Crosby out of the backfield to the wide receiver spot, and in doing so, as soon as he broke to go from the hip out wide, a Picayune defender jumped. So it goes from 1st and 10 to 2nd and 5. Moves it even closer right there at the, let's say at the 11-yard line, Ricky Whitaker.
Yeah,
2 wides to the
third
left.
penalty there on Picayune. I know it's first game, but it's not going to make it any easier.
Pistol formation will be in goal from the 2-yard line.
Yeah, really riding Crosby a lot, Clay. Quarterback, Nettles, made a good throw, short-hopped a couple, and I think they're going to let him get a little bit more comfortable and happy to just continue to ride Crosby here.
And why not? That was your game plan coming in. If you were Coach Pinnock, he's followed that, and he's got to score. 2 yards out, Cooper Crosby will go in. Ran through a couple arm tackles, but not enough to stop him, and so Gulfport going to have the first score in this one. Tie going to trail at 6-0 as we await the point after. The Diamond Productions point after, as we appreciate Mossy of Picayune for our pregame sponsorship. Carter Platt going to attempt the PAT. Saw him with a missed 39-yard field goal attempt earlier in this ball game. Snap is good, the hold is good, the kick is up, and it is true. So Gulfport leads at 7.
Touchstone Energy Cooperative wants you to know we've got you. It's a pledge to make sure you're always taken care of. A pledge we honor every day. From our member service representatives to our linemen and those making sure the power you use is there when you need it. We've got you. Always.
Brought to you by Coast Electric, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Tide trail it to 7-0 to the home-standing Gulfport Admirals. As a good drive there by Gulfport. A large mix of Cooper Crosby and Hales. Javius Hales has been the main target on 2 big pass plays. Has the wide receivers 6', 175. He's been kind of tough on the Tide through 2 drives, Rick. And then we knew what we were getting in Cooper Crosby. He put on a show in Picayune last year with his rushing total. So this is an offense that looks to be high octane. They've scored on 1 of their 2 drives. The other ended in a missed kick. Tide about to have it for its second.
Line for Picayune, some on that last drive, but Picayune got to answer here.
Yep, that will be the task in front of this offense, as that was a line drive that's going to make it into the end zone off the foot of Carter Platt. As Dennis unable to squeeze it, probably best on that type of kick. So, Rick, you got to credit Gulfport with that first defensive series. Look good against the Tide. See how the Tide will respond after giving up the opening score on the second drive from Gulfport. Trailing this one 7-0, 2:16 left in our opening quarter on a muggy night in South Mississippi. Colt Robertson going to tuck himself under center. He will give to Dennis. Dennis got back to the line of scrimmage, and then that's it. And, Rick, the defense is good enough, but Dennis on this grass, you and I walked across it with our equipment. It's got a little length to it. It's been rained on, and Dennis didn't really get out the starting block all that well on that one, kind of slipped, and that's going to make any run tough against this D line.
Yes, it is. You don't want to give them any extra opportunity.
Illett, the wide receiver, far to the right. You have Jordan Hathorn in the slot. It's a pitch the other way to the left. Dennis has a sealed off corner and will get out of bounds at the 37. And just as I said, the seal, Rick, that's when the flag came in from the white hat. I believe that's going to be a holding penalty against the Maroon Tide, and it will be.
That's going to race a nice gain, and really, Zay looking for the cutback, but good pursuit from Gulfport's defense, but he does find the edge, but unfortunately going to go backwards.
Junior James running in the play. That's the little brother of Christian James, a kid that both you and I just fell in love with a few years back on one of the state title teams. Christian James was one of those platoon players who really, showed up in his career for the Maroon Tide. A lot of respect for that young man. You hate to say big. That's a pretty big third down, though.
Yeah, it's a big third down. Jordan, nice 7-yard gain. Quick hitter there up the middle for the Maroon Tide.
Wing back over on the right side of the formation. That was McKinley looking to throw it out to the right and has found the fullback in Agana. Colin Agana's got it up to the 31-yard line. Still going to be short of the yardage needed for the first down, but a good pitch out there. Good throw by Colt Robertson to Agana. Put it right where you want to for the fullback to be able to turn his shoulders and run. Let's see, a 4th and 4 here, Rick. Decision time for Coach Stogner and the staff. You go for it. You're deep. I don't say deep, but you're in your own territory when you look at punting situations. As it's your 31. Most time this is a punt, but Cody going to let the clock run down. Him and Adam Feely, the offensive brain trust. Tyler Penton. Going to talk about this one. Going to burn a timeout. What do you think we get here, Rick, after the timeout? You think the Tide choose to go for it or send a punt unit on?
I think seeing that you're down here, Clay, and the way the Gulfport offense is going, I think you got to try to go for it. I wouldn't be surprised if the Maroon Tide comes out with a hard count, only needing a few yards here to see if they can get Gulfport to jump.
Yeah, my argument's in that, Rick.
Go quick if you got to play. If you don't, maybe you go hard count.
It will be Illett at the wide receiver spot, which tells me the Tide are about to go. First indication is that the Tide's going to go for it here. They will. You'll put Macon Burnett at the fullback. You'll have Jordan Hathorn at the tailback spot. Big down here. 4th and 4 for the Tide. It will be a give to Hathorn. Hathorn initially hit, wasn't going to get it, but kept churning those legs and will have it up to the 37-yard line for the Maroon Tide. That was a lot of want to right there from Jordan Hathorn as he was stood up short, Rick, but broke through that first tackle and went and got the first down to Jordan Hathorn.
Yes, he did. Needed 4, got 6 on that play, and most importantly, keeps this Maroon Tide offense on the field.
Boy, and doesn't give it a Gulfport right there.
Yeah.
A really short field. That was a big first down pickup. Colt Robertson here with a naked bootleg. He's crossed the 40. He'll take a hammering hit at the 43-yard line, will Colt Robertson. Was it here that Brady ran that same naked boot? Was it at the field here in Gulfport during that come from behind? Same play call. Brady was able to pick up a first down back a few years ago. Colt here with about a 6-yard gain. At the Tide 43-yard line, Junior James, the wide receiver, to the left. Split backfield, it'll be the first give to the bull, Macon Burnett. Burnett right to midfield, going to have enough for the first down. So this is a bit of the rhythm that the Tide offense looks for right here, Rick, trying to string a couple of these together. Ball resting right at midfield, and Macon Burnett with a big carry.
Yeah, the bull, one of those guys, Clay, that you and I talked about, just looked like he had gotten some more speed. You said he'd been swimming, but a nice hard run there.
Yeah, good job by Macon. He's still in at the fullback position. Wide receiver to the right is Darius Fortenberry. Tailback Zay Dennis. Dennis looking to spring it out to the right. Caught just by his shirt tail at the 47. And that is a really good individual effort by Cordarius Payton just to hold on for Dennis. Dennis has got that home run type speed, and he's just looking to make the corner. Hadn't been able to do so far tonight, Rick, but when he does, it'll be off to the races. As that will end our first quarter of play. Gulfport leads it 7-0 after one quarter here in Gulfport. When we return, we will have your second quarter action.
Need a plumber? Let Harold's Plumbing help you with that. Whether it's new construction or just a plumbing repair, Harold can make it happen. Harold's Plumbing is licensed and can do both residential and commercial jobs. Give Harold's Plumbing a call at 601-273-0598 and let him handle all your plumbing and septic tank services.
Rick, as we head to our second quarter, this second quarter will be brought to you by Topper World of Gulfport. Topper World going to fall incomplete. Going to bring up now 3rd and 7 for the Tide. 3rd and 7 for the Tide. Tide have it after the flipping of the field. Have it after the flipping of the field for the quarter break. And he planted him at about the 32-yard line. We'll get it up to the 27. And when you can exchange Burnett and Igana at the fullback position, that may be a special combo because they're both really physical. Igana just a sophomore, Rick. We saw what he could be as a baby last year as a freshman.
Yeah, 20-yard pickup there by Igana. That's the biggest pickup on the ground for the Maroon Tide so far in this game. Wonder if that Gulfport defense is starting to tire a bit.
Here is a give to Dennis, trying to hit it inside, and just not a lot doing there for Dennis. I say that, Rick. The spot going to be a bit more profitable than I probably gave him credit for on first blush. Going to be a gain of 3. Bring up 2nd and 7. I didn't know that he got 3 there, but we'll take the spot to the 25 of Gulfport. 10:55 to go before our Animal Health Clinic halftime show. Got McKinley over at the left wing. Igana at the fullback. Dennis at the tailback. It's the pitch. It's the toss to Dennis, and he bounces it. 10-5 touchdown. Dennis got the corner and got the touchdown. Go, Zay, go. Nice run there from Zay Dennis. A 25-yard run by Mr. Dennis, as he will have his first touchdown here in 2025. We'll await the point after, as Picayune staff very upset here, waiting to see if they got the touchdown indication. They're upset with the crew not putting the universal touchdown sign together, Rick. They're wondering, like, hey, is that still the sign for a touchdown? As you could see, our group really animated as we await the PAT. It was a low snap, going to cost the Tide, as messed up the timing of it as a low snap, kind of trickled back to Rayburn. By the time Rayburn got it, it was out of Eddie Cruz's rhythm, and that may matter. 7-6. You don't want 6-point touchdowns, Rick. We talk about it a lot, one of those early season type things, but just didn't reach Rayburn. The holder there, and Cruz, anybody that's ever kicked anything, that timing certainly matters. Kind of messed up Edgar Cruz's timing, and the kick is low and no good.
Yeah, but, man, what a good drive, Clay, for the Maroon Tide. They go 75 yards. They run 12 plays, and they take 6 minutes and 46 seconds off of the clock. We saw Gulfport's defense wear those short runs that Picayune was getting. We see Agana knock off one for 20, and then Zay Dennis makes a great cut, goes in from 25 yards out to put the Maroon Tide on the board. As you mentioned already, they missed the extra points. It's 7-6 ball game.
Special teams in recent memory has been really good for the Tide. We look for that trend to continue. Eddie's such a good kicker, such a good soccer player for the Tide as well. Playing offensive line too, so this is a high kick that is hung up forever before Crosby fields it at the 8. Look at this pursuit and speed for the Tide. Going to get Crosby down at the 11, Rick. That's hard to do. You won't hear that probably said about Gulfport very often, that Crosby catches it at, the 7 and only gets it to the 11. What team speed, and what a kick by Cruz. That hung up there like a hot air balloon. Beautiful job there by Edgar Cruz.
Here's what's great about that, Clay. Flying down on the field is your defensive tackle and one of your offensive linemen that made that play.
Beautiful effort. Give the names, Rick, if you have them.
Says Nolan Wilson and 55 for us. I believe that's AK, right?
Yeah, that's good effort by those young men. That's Zay Jackson. Jackson, a really good player as well. Plugs in a lot of spots for the Tide. So 1st and 10 from the 11 for Gulfport. And a whistle early. They were sending Moto on a blitz too, Rick. What's the indication on the penalty? Going to go against the Tide, I believe. And that's a penalty that'll hurt you in 2 ways, Rick. I think we were going to have them in what we wanted them in on the blitz from Moto coming off the corner, off the edge. And, of course, you give them a free 5, get it out to the 16, 1st and 10 from the 6. Yep. 1st and 5 from the 16. Here's Crosby, physical run. That was Amari Scott making a tackle, but he kind of carried Scott beyond the sticks for the 1st down. So,
Clay, that's on the 3rd straight drive on the first play of the drive that we've had a penalty there. But, yeah, we both saw it, and Moto was about to tee off on Nettles.
Yeah, that's one from Seth Hayden's perspective, the defensive coordinator. You let them to water. You just can't make them drink if you're going to jump on that. Here's a pass that is complete at the 25. Look at the run after the catch to the 40, to the 42-yard line. And that's what they've done. They've just quickly gotten it out to Hales on 3 or 4 of these passes. And he's been able to run after the catch. He's done that again. He's got a 1st down. Gulfport has it. It's 42-yard line. Less than 10 minutes left before our Animal Health Clinic halftime show. Gulfport by a skinny 1 point over your Tide, 7-6 at the moment. Gulfport driving it from right to left. Started this drive at the 11, have gotten it to their own 42. Here's a new back and a physical run. Just straight ahead. Burnett's going to get credited with the tackle. But that's a nice run by Frederick. Really nothing there to speak of, Rick, but lowered his head and went and got 5 tough yards. Yeah. That was a good change of pace, if you want to phrase it that, from Frederick, dressed in 2 tonight for Gulfport.
Yeah, a lot of these offensive players for the Maroon Tide play in defense too.
Bunch formation off to the right. It will be a reverse type look. It will be, as Gulfport's going to go in reverse. Cross over their own emblem there at midfield. What an emblem that is, right? They take that Green Bay Packer G, put that blue and orange on it, and it's really an historic logo when you think about sports in South Mississippi.
Yep, and I believe that's going to be a hands to the face on the receiver, Clay, from what I could see from here. And But credit Gulfport's wide receiver group to spring these runs, these long plays. You've got to block well down the field. They've certainly done that tonight.
Nettles looks pretty in control of the game at this point, too. We haven't done a lot to kind of speed his heart rate up so far. 8:55 before the half. This is a 2nd and 13 from Gulfport's 39-yard line. Nettles rolling to his right. That'll speed that heart rate up as Nolan Wilson able to drag him down. He's able to get the pass off. A good play by him to avoid the sack. But just as I said, Nettles kind of playing carefree football, not a whole lot to worry about, and then he's got a 4-star on his back. That was a good pass rush by the one and only Nolan Wilson.
Yeah, Mr. Nettles just learned how quick he can get from point A to point B, and that's going to be in his mind when they run that play again.
We'll see 3 wide receivers out to the right side of this formation. Cooper Crosby off the right hip of Nettles in the shotgun. Nettles spins it, throws it, go, and almost picked off at the 45 of the Tide. Went off the fingertips and hung up for a while. Was waiting to see if Cam Quinn didn't come down with it and also back that deep. Was that Stallings who had found himself back in coverage at the linebacker position?
It was, Clay, and Cam was in position. He jumped. Hard to judge where the ball is going to go when it gets tipped, but had he stayed on his feet, that's probably an easy interception for him.
So after giving up 30 yards defensively, the defense did its job. Going to force a punt here for Gulfport. Gulfport's first punt of the ball game. Plant with his heels at his 26-yard line has hit a good kick after the roll is factored in, as it is still rolling down to the 20-yard line. So it wasn't as pretty as you may like from Platt's perspective, but it gets the job done. Drives the Tide back to his 20-yard line to start this drive. And, Rick, when you look at it, 8:29 to go before the locker rooms. What would you like to see differently from the Tide, if anything at all?
No, I think that they need to try to execute the way they did on their last drive. Took nearly 7 minutes. We'd love that. That'd take a lot of that clock away. But most importantly, you got to limit the penalties and you got to come away with points here.
See what the Tide get going from their own 20, going from left to right in front of Ricky Whitaker and I. Appreciate you listening to or taking in some Talking Ball Y'all action. Appreciate Diamond Productions and all of our fine sponsors. Topper World second quarter here. We'll have a top play of the game by Topper World also in this one. Dennis with the toss out to the right. Power out to the right, Rick, or tall sweep, whatever you want to deem that. It's going to get him, let's say 3, bring up 2nd and 7. From the 23. Long wide receiver in this formation over on the left. That is Junior James. You have Ontario Wilkins, the tight end, to the right. A funny exchange between Colt Robertson and Macon Burnett. And the reason I say that, I didn't really see it with my naked eye, but Colt Robertson was kind of looking like, hey, does Macon have the football? Just a funny look there, but Burnett, the Bull, did have it and has a 3-yard pickup straight ahead to the 26. So Tide now with a 3rd and 4 opportunity from its own 26. 7:27 to go before the locker rooms.
Macon Burnett logging a lot of snaps here on both sides of the ball in this first half.
Yeah, you got to be in shape to do that. Macon's gotten himself in really good shape. Jordan Hathorn was at the wing on the left, but Zay Dennis with the football from the tailback position, going to lower his shoulder at the end of the run up to the 36. A flag right at the end of the play. Zay had enough for the first down and was going to have himself a pretty good gain. And then right at the 36 where he was run out of bounds on the left side, Rick, a flag. I mean, that's almost got to go against the defender. I'm not sure what the...
Yeah, Zay's helmet also came off, and that would make me think it was a face mask.
Yeah. Further spot from you and I. This is a beautiful setup. A ton of space as they have a beautiful visitor side press box.
Nice 10-yard run there by Zay. Zay's yards per carry number starting to get pretty healthy.
What are we looking at there, Rick? Don't tease us.
I'll give it to you, my friend. So Zay Dennis, 9 carries, now 52 yards. That's just under 6 yards per carry for Mr. Dennis.
Yeah, that's a really good number. Moto in the ball game at the tailback spot now. Of Macon Burnett and Igana. Macon Burnett and Igana, ball just over the head of Ontario Wilkins. The tight end was who it was intended for, incomplete. I'm almost glad, Rick, if that would have been a better pass, this is going to sound crazy, and maybe it's exactly what Cole Robertson had in mind, but that was really the only place he could throw it and it not be picked off by a linebacker that was lurking. There's a timeout on the field. I believe this is the Heat timeout. We'll keep it here, Rick. That incomplete pass is going to bring up a 3rd and 9 from the 49, as the Tide have driven it across midfield, but have it at the 49 of Gulfport with a 3rd and 9 spot.
Cole Robertson, 1 of 4 on the night so far, had the 9-yard completion, also had 6 yards rushing, trying to settle in, but I give a lot of credit to Gulfport's defense and coverage. And you look at it, Clay, we've seen Ellett. He's a big kid. You said he's a basketball guy in single coverage. Love to see maybe a one-man route, an out route. We saw that some even at practice. See if that's on the table.
Ellett's a guy that draws your attention as he runs these plays in and gets out in the route, Rick, just because of his frame, right? You look at the way he's listed on the roster, just a tall, good-looking kid, 6'4", 198. You've got 2 burners, though, in at the wide receiver spot currently. That's Junior James, a really good soccer player, split to your right of the formation. It's Jordan Hathorn over on the left to wide receiver spots. It's the pitch to Dennis. Dennis with a little space to operate. He's got the first down. He's to the 30 is Zay Dennis. And what kind of play call is that, Rick, when you can have 3rd and 9 and just pitch it back there to Dennis and let him do his thing? The guys up front with a tremendous push, and Dennis explodes up. They'll mark it back to the 31, not the 30-yard line. So good job there by that offensive line, and Dennis stacking up numbers.
Yeah, 17-yard pickup there for Dennis.
Good job there for the Tide. Needed it to keep the sticks moving and have to the 31 of Gulfport. Cole Robertson under center, pops up, surveys, gives it to Macon Burnett. Basically the entire defensive line on top of Macon Burnett almost instantly, but he's strong enough to drag him forward for 1.5 yards. So let's say 2nd and 9, Rick. I maybe was generous and say just a yard gain there by the Bull. Closing in on the 5-minute mark left in this opening half. Gulfport on top of our Maroon Tide, 7-6.
Maroon Tide getting ready to run their 8th play of this drive, Clay. So see if that Gulfport defense is starting to get a little tired.
Here is a give to Jordan Hathorn. Hathorn keeps churning. 26, he found contact, was able to tote it forward to the 25-yard line was Jordan Hathorn. We saw that on a big 4th down play earlier where Jordan was contacted but able to get some yards after that contact. Timeout on the field, Rick. Gulfport leads it by that skinny 1-point margin. Both teams have a touchdown. Tide weren't able to convert their point after.
And really, Clay, this second quarter, Maroon Tide is just owning the time of possession. Gulfport, after the Crosby score, had a 3-and-out, but Maroon Tide nearly 7 minutes on their last drive, and they're knocking on doing something like that again here. So you'd love to see that, those Patton and Picayune drives that close this first half out.
Yeah, you're right, Rick, because when you look at Nettle, some of the wide receivers, 4 in particular for Gulfport and Hales, and then, of course, Cooper Crosby, the best place for them from the Picayune perspective is on that far sideline. Love to just churn this clock, churn the yardage, and get a score at the end of this one.
Yeah, and it's a good timeout, too, by Coach Stogner. He's giving his guys a rest. He knows that this is a very important possession here. Don't want to give Gulfport the ball back, and if you do, you don't want them to have a whole lot of time.
What do you think you see coming out of the huddle here? 3rd and 3 for the Tide.
Ooh, I think you can keep it on the ground here, Clay. I mean, you're picking up yardage there, but maybe the wingback reverse, but we'll see.
You've got Igana at the fullback. You've got Jordan Hathorn at the tailback. That's McKinley at the wing going from right to left, and it was not sure if that was design or a busted play there, but you had Colt Robertson take the snap and then just try to go a couple steps to his right before he went forward, and no gain, maybe a half-yard loss on the play. So now you get into a 4th and let's call it 4, back towards the 26 for the Tide. Closing in on that 4-minute mark before our Animal Health Clinic halftime show.
Yeah, not sure if it was a busted play or if they saw a gap and just told him if he sees it to try to go through it, see if he could squeeze the yardage out, but either way didn't result very well.
Dennis at the tailback, he'll have it, then give it on the reverse action to Jordan Hathorn, and Hathorn at the 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, touchdown. Jordan Hathorn with a 25-yard touchdown run. Put it in the belly of the tailback, Dennis. Had the wingback, Jordan Hathorn, coming across his face, gave it to him, and it will result in a 25-yard touchdown initially. But we have a hanky over at about the 4-yard line on the left side. And what do we have here, Rick?
We call that the old double reverse there, Clay. You and I, not a big fan of it. It's kind of a long developing play, but they worked it out, got it in. But we'll see what happens here on this penalty.
And you're trying to see if it's after the play. I'm seeing Cody say touchdown good. Not sure exactly if this will take points off the board, who it's against.
Yeah, he's asking for an explanation.
A lot of discussion. As you can see on the YouTube channel, you can see that discussion from the officials and also little clusters of players. You've got a Gulfport player who feels pretty at home back here with a group of Picayune players, and that's Dre Peters. Why not, Rick? That is a stud for the other side, and Mr. Peters. Scoreboard here showing a touchdown.
They go 80 yards. They take 4 minutes and 49 seconds off the clock. They go 80 yards. They take 4 minutes and 49 seconds off the clock, and it's capped off by a 25-yard rush by Mr. Hawthorne. We got 2 25-yarders. They had one on the last drive, and that puts Picayune up by 13-7.
13-7. Got the drive that you kind of requested at the beginning of that one, right, Rick? That's basically what you would have drawn up. End it with the score. Momentum, I think, back really on the Tide side. Has been that way really this whole second quarter, this Topper World second quarter. We'll have a top play of the game brought to you by Topper World.
The Maroon Tide, Clay, as a unit tonight, 21 rushes, 151 yards, averaging about 7 yards a touch, and most of that coming off of those last 2 drives.
Here's what we'll find out about the penalty, right, as Edgar Cruz has it teed up back at his 25-yard line. So it must have been something after the score for the Tide that went against them, as you have Cruz teed up at the 25, which is a big deal, right, Rick? You've got 3:40 to go before the half. It's kind of those little things, those penalties for the Tide that you don't want. You don't want to give Gulfport a short field right here before the half. Cruz has hit another beauty of a kick. Cooper Crosby will handle it at the 21. He's going from left to right. Moto had him briefly, runs through that tackle, won't run through the next one. That's Nolan Wilson who got him at the 37. Credit Moto, slowed him down a bit before Nolan Wilson was able to finish him off. Boy, you know that's a collision, right? Cooper Crosby, with the load that he is, running into Nolan Wilson, as Crosby on the old roster, 6 foot, 210. Nolan Wilson, 6'5", 260.
Sprinting down on the kickoff. And we'll see Agana check in, too, on the defensive line.
Gulfport going to go to work from their 37-yard line. Nettles has it out of his hands quickly, and it's caught. That is his favorite target so far tonight, Hales with the catch. Hales, the lone wide receiver over on the right. And Rick, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe every first play of their drive has been a quick pass out to Hales.
Yeah, and most of the time a penalty for us, but we didn't do it that time, but you're right on.
2nd and 1. They could take a shot here, 2nd and 1. Ball at the 42-yard line. Instead, a busted play. We'll take it. A little miscommunication between Nettles at the quarterback position and his tailback Crosby. And that little miscommunication allowed Bolden, Wilson, and Igana to converge and make a tackle for a loss. About a 1.5 yard loss. Backs it up to the 46 of Gulfport. 3:05 to go before the break. Tide leading at 13-7. 2 wide receivers set to the right of this formation. 1 lone wide receiver over on the left for the Admirals. You've got what has turned into a pistol formation, a give to Crosby. He is in and out of the hole quickly. He may score. He will. As Crosby going to hit a home run from the 46. That will be a 54-yard touchdown run for Crosby. If you give him some daylight, he shows really, really good speed. Runs it with authority and can run away from you. That's what the Ragin' Cajuns from Lafayette like about him. He was a University of Louisiana commit for a reason. There showed off burner speed, Rick.
Yeah, but that's the danger there. Even with not a lot of time on the clock left, he can hit you for a good one. Good thing is, though, Clay, is Maroon Tide got a chance to get some points here before the half.
Here's the PAT to take the lead for the Admirals, and it is true. 14-13, home team lead it over your Maroon Tide. We'll take a 1-minute timeout. We'll tell you how this second half ends. 2:42 remain. Gulfport on top of the Tide, 14-13.
Exotic Stone specializes in a variety of natural and manufactured stone and has proudly provided exceptional service, quality work, and low prices to the residents of Pearl River County and beyond for the past 17 years. They have 2 locations, 6895 Highway 11 in Carriere or 1171 Highway 90 in Bay St. Louis. Exotic Stones is ready to support all your commercial and residential projects. Give Angela Burmaster a call at 504-606-3170 or stop by one of their convenient locations to view their selection or to request a quote, and you'll be happy that you made Exotic Stones your choice.
Wait to kick off here after the scoring drive for Gulf. Have 2:42 to work offensively, or will they? An onside kick attempt from Gulfport, and a really good one. Did Gulfport get on it? No, it'll be your Tide that's going to come up with the football. Let's see who got it, because that is big. That's Kobe Pollard, the young man, going to be able to get on that one for the Tide. What a big play that was to be able to get on that kick.
Yeah, and it's going to give the Maroon Tide a pretty good starting field position here with just 2:35 to play.
You saw special teams coach Neil Lawler excited to see his team being alert. That would have been a big one, right, Rick?
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely not a situation where you'd put the hands team out. It's a really nice heady play by his front line there to secure that ball.
And you'll like this one. That's a heady play by a young man, too. Mr. Pollard, just a sophomore. He's the kid we saw make the pick-6 play the other night in the scrimmage. Got a bright future. Really good-looking athlete. Where's those old Coach Prime throwbacks? Love a man with style, and he certainly does it, does Mr. Pollard. Here's Fortenberry. He's going to be our lone wide receiver to the right. He's one-on-one over here, Rick. Ball at the 42 for the Tide. And it's a fake. Colts looking that way. He's going to take a shot to Fortenberry, and it's going to fall incomplete at the 15.
Colt misses it, but he misses it deep. But boy, I know he'd love to have that one back.
Yeah, he's going to think about that one. Will Cole Robertson, a competitor that he is. Like the shot taken, though. Illett going to be the wide receiver to the right of this formation. It's a toss to Dennis, and what an individual effort made in the backfield. That was a really good tackle for the Admirals. That is, what do they call him, Juice?
That's Juice, number 33. He plays on the nose guard position, and he's been in on a lot of plays tonight.
Now you get into a situation, Rick, and you hate to bring it up, but it's 3rd and 10. There's 2 minutes left. You don't want to give it back to Gulfport with any time to operate, but that's kind of what you're looking at here if you don't go get a first down, as it's 3rd and 10, ball at your own 42-yard line. It'll be a toss and a mishandle here, and all the way back to the 32. Jordan Hathorn, the tailback, just didn't catch the toss clean. He is able to go back and get the football, but the bad news is the scenario I just talked about. 4th, and you got to punt it here, as it is an awful long 4th and 21, and you've got Nettles and company chomping at the bit to get back on the field offensively for the Admiral. So Tide need a good special teams play parlayed with good defense to close out the half, just trailing by 1, Rick.
Yeah, I think right now, Clay, you got
Gulfport, with the way that they've started every drive, they've done a quick pitch, a quick throw out to Hales. Their wide receivers leading them in catches. He's 6 foot 175. Back deep to return for Gulfport will be Cardarius Payton. He'll put his heels at his own 39-yard line. Nolan Wilson at his 20 to punt it away. Wilson has to step to his right to get the snap, and then chooses not to punt the football. Had to step to his right a couple steps, and then when he did, he chose not to kick it and will be brought down at the 20-yard line. And so now Gulfport, the clock doesn't almost matter, as you've got this awesome of starting field position, as you just have 20 yards to go, Rick, after a miscue. We've seen 2 miscues special teams-wise already for the Tide in this half.
Yeah, you certainly don't want to have that happen. Maroon Tide defense got to step up, though, and see if they can get a stop here.
Ball going to be over on the left hash. Trends tell me it's a throw to Hales, as that's how they started every offensive drive tonight. He's the lone wide receiver set over on the right. You've got Cooper Crosby, the tailback, off the right hip of Nettles. Now you've got a man in motion from left to right. There's that throw. Trent continues. It's caught. Hales again. To the 13-yard line goes Hales. Every drive tonight, they've started it that way. A pitch to Hales or a throw to Hales. As this one's going to be a gain of about 6-yard line. Good tackle after the catch, Rick, but they've been able to start these drives with a little bit of rhythm with that completion. There's our hurt player on the field, shaken up. I believe that's a Tidesman that is down, and it is. So Gulfport in business, Rick. 2nd and 3. Ball at the 12-yard line. Let's call it the 13 of the Tide. And yet to see who's injured for the Maroon Tide, but we'll kind of talk around that as there's someone shaking up coming over back towards us. Zay Dennis, that's a double whammy there. Not that all kids aren't as important with their health. I just speak on the playing field and both the tailback and then a corner who's played a ton of defensive back through. I mean, that's a bunch of reps kind of limping over towards us. You hate to say he's more valuable out here defensively. I mean, you can almost plug and play a couple of these guys. We've already seen 3 tailbacks go, but he is a big one missing here against a throwing Gulfport team. Gulfport going to give it to Crosby. Crosby dancing in and out behind his blockers, going to get inside the 10-yard line. Under a minute to play, 59 seconds. I don't call, let's see. Will they say a first down and 1st and goal from just inside the 10? I believe they will here, Rick. We'll call it 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Looking to throw, and it is batted down. He's trying to find Hales again, but that was really good defensive effort. That was Fortenberry. Darius making a play.
Clay, I believe this is Mitchell Smith's first snaps on defense on this series, and he's pretty hard to miss.
Yeah, good call by you in anchoring that defensive line for the Maroon Tide. You've got Moto at one corner, Fortenberry at another for the Tide. It's another give to Cooper.
And guess who?
Yep, that is Mitchell Smith with another play. He got help there. I believe that's Bolden, Javen Bolden with a nice assist on the play. Excuse me, that's Zay Jackson. That's twice we've tried to do that to Zay. Zay's a kid I got to know. He was a baseball manager for the high school baseball team. Got an awesome smile, great personality with him. Timeout on the field. We'll, of course, keep it here. 42 seconds left. So a run there to Crosby, an incomplete pass before that. That was batted down by Fortenberry. You're 42 seconds left, Rick. It's 3rd and goal from the 8. What do you think Coach Pennant kind of goes with there for the Gulfport side?
I think he's looking at it as he's got 2 plays to get it in the end zone. You go back to the first drive where the field goal was missed pretty awfully, to be honest. I don't know if he trusts his field goal kicker to get 3. I think he's going to look at 2 plays to score here.
It's interesting, right, the way we talk offense, defense, and then special teams. I mean, they are a big part of it, aren't they?
Oh, they are.
Here we go. 3rd and goal from the 8 for Gulfport. You will have Cooper Crosby off the left side of Nettles. Wide receiver to each side of the formation. Here's Hales coming from right to left in motion. Fake to Crosby, throw to the tight end for the first time tonight, and it's a catch. You talked about the tight end potentially being a weapon, and Cooper going 6'3", 205, found himself open in a seam, and a 8-yard touchdown pass from Nettles to Goen have the Admirals on top of this one, awaiting the PAT. Current score 20-13. Great play action before the pass to the tight end. That was well done. We'll wait the kick from Platt. It is up, and it is good. So the Admirals now with a 21-13 advantage, and the special teams mishap allowing Gulfport, Rick, to start with just a 20-yard field in front of them. And credit them, right? They take advantage. Now you're facing an 8-point deficit with 41 seconds before the locker room.
Yeah, I mean, just a really good play call there. You get Crosby going in motion. He's going to draw a lot of attention out of the backfield and really probably frees up the tight end. Linebackers are going to be looking Crosby's way, and he just sneaks one in. It was a good throw by Nettles.
It was that little bit of motion to the back who you've used a lot tonight. Had to have kind of those linebackers peeking. Not sure who was responsible for the tight end, but that's a lot of eye candy and Crosby prior to the throw. Well done by the Admirals. That really wasn't a problem, right? It was the mishaps before that allow a 20-yard field for a pretty good offense, and that's how you get yourself down by 8.
Yeah,
this is a really good
drive.
Test for both teams, right? This is why it's scheduled this way. Any chinks in the armor are going to be found out tonight, and you can try to fix them before week 2 gets here. So both of these head coaches and staffs finding out a lot about their football teams here in this first half, and we've been treated to an entertaining first half.
Yeah, it's been a good one. Really, it was all about that last drive for the Maroon Tide. Started on the 42. In 3 plays, you end up back on the 30, your own 32, and then you fumble the snap and gives Gulfport really good field position. Yeah,
we were bragging short field. You do a good job recovering the onside kick, and that was kind of the last good news we were able to deliver. Went downhill rather quickly after that. Teed up at the 40. This is Platt, who has hit a angling kick that was dangerous. Not sure if a fair catch was called for. Should have been, but Moto catches it and then it's hit pretty hard at about the 36-yard line. And, Rick, that's a bit dangerous on that high angling kick. You don't get that hand in the air, you're fair game. That could have been bad, but the Tide will possess it. They're going to put it at the 34. 41 seconds. What do you think the Tide have in mind here, Rick?
You just got to I think you got to make sure you get out of this half. We'll see if they run it and or if they're happy with that. content going in 21-13 knowing that they get the ball back, or maybe they take a shot here, but I think they're going to be a little bit conservative.
Yeah, Coach Pinnock, a man, I believe about our age group, a little Tupac instrumental in the background between the snaps here, as this will be a give to Moto, and he can really run. He's got it. We're both over 50 yards. I mean, they were a real chance to watch him stretch his legs.
Yeah, picks up 18 yards there on his first.
Say that Moto was the third of the 3 running backs. But we've seen a pretty good diet, a bunch of different ball handlers for the Tide tonight. Who all's touched it in that backfield, Rick?
Been a lot of guys touched it. Jordan Hawthorne's got 5 rushes for 43 yards. Zay Dennis, 11 for 69. Moto, his big rush that we just saw. Burnett, 3 for 11. And Agana, 3 for 22. So they've spread it around a good bit tonight in the first half.
See if that big run from Moto doesn't change the mindset of the Tide staff with 34 seconds before the half. It's another give to Moto. He's across midfield with it now as it's going to flip over to the 47 of Gulfport's where it will be spotted. Picayune burning timeouts. They're looking for points here before the half. 2nd and 6. Ball at the 47 now of Gulfport. Coach Stogner's burned back-to-back timeouts. Gulfport leads it 21-13. Wouldn't that be something, Rick, if the heavy rushing attack is able to get one before the half, able to maybe have a couple missed tackles or something on one of these backs and spring someone.
Yeah, I think you got at least one timeout left, and I think given Moto's 2 pretty good runs, especially that first run, you can think a little bit differently now being across midfield.
And both runs, Rick, if you correct me here, were between the tackles. They haven't been trying to get wide as they've just given it to Moto. He's headed north-south and been able to pick up 2 pretty good runs. We'll see him back in that tailback spot. He's joined by Burnett at the fullback position.
It's going to be interesting to see how Gulfport lines up, and they will have a safety back here. They've been playing man coverage.
McKinley split as he'll come in motion from right to left. So throw, Fortenberry's got it at the 45, tries to dance a defender off of him. Able to do so, but corralled at the 40. So a good pass from Colt Robertson allowed Fortenberry to make a move or 2 after the catch. Now at the 40 of Gulfport, beginning to get a bit more interesting here. 21 seconds.
7-yard pickup there and gets out of bounds. Doesn't take a whole lot of time off the clock.
Adair is hard to find in a phone booth. I like the football in his hands. He's a tough guy for one man to bring down when if he's got any kind of room at all. McKinley split, same formation. He'll now move from right to left. The pump fake, they're trying to get Fortenberry down this near sideline and just overthrow him a bit. I like it. Ran the same exact formation, same look. The pump fake trying to get the corner to bite on the same throw, Rick, and then you try to run by him and deliver it over the top. It's incomplete, but that was a clever play by your Tide.
Yeah, really good effort there. I mean, I think you got to try it. 15 seconds now, so you got maybe a couple more plays. See what Coach Stogner wants to pull out of the old bag of tricks.
Set him up in the passing game. That was nicely done. Fortenberry, the man again, over to the right in the formation at that wide receiver spot. McKinley had moved to a truer wingback, and that may be who they're trying to find over the middle. Nope, it was back behind him, intended for Fortenberry, and it's going to fall incomplete. You had McKinley from the wing, Rick, out in route. You also had Fortenberry. The depth of the routes were different, but the shape of them were kind of the same. So when you looked out there, you saw a lot of blue and orange.
Yeah, you did. And Gulfport really, I guess in their version of a prevent, we've seen a lot of people drop back. It's going to be hard to get behind them.
Yeah, you're not going to see a lot of prevent against this old Maroon Tide team, but I think you're right there. As it is 3rd and 10, ball at the 40-yard line. A toss to Moto. Moto trying to get around the corner on the left side. A ton of Admirals over there going to make the tackle, and that should do it for our half of football. 21-13 as we'll head into our Animal Health Clinic halftime show. And Rick, we started doing this kind of towards the tail end of last year where you and I would recap things before we even went to that first break for our Animal Animal Halftime show. We'll do that here. Let's kind of look at the first half action, the scoring numbers, and who did what there in the first half for the Maroon Tide.
Yeah, well, Gulfport gets the ball first. They miss a field goal. Picayune punts on their first possession. Gulfport on their second possession gets a score out of Crosby. He goes in from 6 yards out to put the ball game up 7-0. Zay Dennis answers with a 25-yard rushing touchdown on his second possession. Makes it a 7-6 ball game. Missed PAT. Gulfport punts on their third. Hawthorne answers with another 25-yard touchdown to make it 13-7 Picayune. Crosby answers with a 54-yard scamper to make it 14-13. A fumbled punt puts Gulfport in great position, and Nettles finds Cooper going for a 16-yard touchdown, 20-13. That's where we're at here to start, as we'll start this second half. And looking at scoring leaders on the night, Jordan Hawthorne, 5 rushes for 43 yards. He had the touchdown. Zay Dennis, 11 for 69, and a touchdown. Those two guys leading the Maroon Tide backfield. Colt Robertson. I've said Brady for so many years. Colt Robertson, 2 of 8, 16 yards on the night. Also has 6 yards rushing on the night.
So that kind of gives you a recap of the action thus far from the Tide perspective. Admirals lead at 21-13. We'll get into our first break here on our Animal Health Clinic halftime show.
It feels good to buy local, whether you're supporting your community small businesses, family-owned restaurants, or Farm Bureau Insurance. The local agents at Farm Bureau Insurance are dedicated to always helping you protect what's important. Farm Bureau Insurance is headquartered right here in Mississippi with local agents in your community. If you're shopping for car, home, or life insurance in the Poplarville area, call Kate Amaker at 601-795-4585. Or if you're in the Picayune Carrier area, call Robert Hester, Jeremy Shesby, or me, Ross Gilbo, at 601-798-2861. And go with the home team, Mississippi Farm Bureau Casualty, Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi.
When you see that annoying service engine light on and you need an oil change, stop by Pit Lane Oil Change. Pit Lane is a family-owned and operated business with professional and knowledgeable staff. They always take pride in providing the best care of their customers. They are located at 401 Highway 11 in Picayune. With fast, friendly service, let Pit Lane Oil Change be the pit stop for all your maintenance needs.
Healthy pets, happy people, exceptional medicine, compassionate care. That's our motto at the Animal Health Clinic in Picayune. Located at 500 Kelly Road, we are equipped with the latest veterinary technology and provide a full menu of animal health services, including after-hours emergencies. Dr. Alan Smith invites you to join our clinic family by checking out our website at ahcpicayune.com or calling us at 601-799-1300.
Welcome in to the Animal Health Clinic halftime show here at Milner Field. The homestanding Gulfport Admirals leading this contest over the Picayune Maroon Tide by a score of 21-13. We are just starting the halftime show here. Gulfport band is getting geared up there to start their show. Darren Uzel joining me up here in the booth. Darren got a lot of room up here, nice booth for us.
Yes,
not used to having all this room, but
nice.
21-13 your score. You've been down field level tonight. Give us your thoughts on this first half.
First game, the first game, seeing some miscues here, some great things happening, some not so great things, and that's what the coaches look for on both sides of the ball. Looking at seeing what they need to improve on from week to week, and hey, 21-13, hanging in there with Gulfport tonight, and it easily could be the other way around. And really proud of the way the Maroon Tide's playing tonight, and really, first game jitters too. You got a lot of young guys playing, some first-time starters, and but it's good. It's good to see them out there getting it tonight, Rick.
Yeah, I think you expect to see some of those things that you talked about. Maroon Tide 5 penalties, had 3 in a row on each of the first drive or first play of the first 3 drives for Gulfport. Penalties, those hurt them a lot. Cooper Crosby as advertised. We kind of assumed he was going to be a factor, and he certainly has been tonight. So we've seen that. I think overall the Maroon Tide trying to settle in a little bit. Zay Dennis and Hawthorne have looked pretty good running the ball for the Maroon Tide tonight. But, a lot of the talk around Milner, Darren, has been Gulfport's going to be really relying on their defense. They want their defense to be physical, want their defense to be tough, and I think we've seen some of that tonight as well.
Hey, this is a strength for Gulfport is their defense. They tackle. They tackle really, really well. You don't see a whole lot of missed tackles tonight on Gulfport's defensive side of the ball, and very sure tackling. That's probably one of probably the strength besides Cooper Crosby on the offensive side. And my goodness, I thought he was a senior last year. I mean, he ran from here to Popville and against us last year. It seemed like, but tonight he's they hold him in check for the most part. He had a big run.
Yeah.
He's back. I thought he was graduated, but I was sadly mistaken.
Yeah, I think the play down here where he broke the first one looked like a trap from up here. Maybe you had a better look at it. I believe they trapped Nolan on that play, but really didn't think he was going to be used a lot with it being the first game of the season in between the tackles. Thought he'd get touches, but you look at his stats a year ago, only 10 carries. Again, this is the first game of the season, so I'd expect they want to give him a few more carries, right? But you think he's got a snap count in mind?
I wouldn't. Probably 10 more carries in the second half is what I would think. I mean, you want to keep him healthy down the stretch.
Yeah.
These are non-conference games. I mean, non-district games, and they matter, and then again they don't matter. So you want to keep him for the Ocean Springs and the Ibervilles and Harrison Centrals and things and Biloxi's. You want to keep him healthy, but at the same time, you want to get him in football shape. And tonight's a good night to do. It's not real humid out here, but it's pretty warm in this press box, Rick.
Yeah, it's warm in here. Yes, it is.
There's no wind blowing up here.
No, there's an air conditioner somewhere, but I'm not feeling a whole lot of it.
Nope.
But so looking at the second half, Picayune's going to get the ball back. We had the missed extra point. We had the fumble that really gave them that opportunity to put those other points on the board. But Picayune comes out back-to-back touchdown drives after Crosby runs, end up going 3 and out for Gulfport, and able to couldn't capitalize on good field position here to kind of set them backwards. But what are your thoughts for coming out here in the second half? Picayune's going to get the ball as we start it.
Well, we've been doing this, Rick, for a few years now, and what's awesome to watch is each team, the personality of each team as they come through, and over the last several years, they come out in the second half and they lock them down. They're gritty, and I don't expect anything less from this team. And so, but also being the first game of the year, you really don't know what to expect. But as they grow and get in unity together and first game experience, you're gonna see what kind of personality they have, because each team has a different personality, and I'm curious to see what kind of personality this team has. And so far, they look gritty. They move. They're not afraid to hit. They in there, they're hitting, and that's what you want to see. So on the second half, to answer your question, Rick, I don't expect anything less than what I've seen the last several years. Come out here and play hard the second half, and come out here with a win. The last time we was at Milner, you quoted the thriller of Milner. Nakee intercepted that ball and took it to the house. I mean, we were getting beat worse that game here. Come in the second half and really shut them down, and then that big play by Nakee. I mean, those memories are etched in your mind, and we may get to see some of those same type of plays tonight. You know?
Yep. Who's going to be a playmaker? I think guys are still trying to solidify themselves in certain roles. We may see some people step up and that we weren't anticipating to step up. So a lot of good things that happen here. We're going to take one more timeout. When we come back, Darren Uzel will have some scores. We'll look at what's going on in our district around Pearl River County and even some of the upcoming opponents that Maroon Tide's going to have on their schedule. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
When you see that annoying service engine light on and you need an oil change, stop by Pit Lane Oil Change. Pit Lane is a family-owned and operated business with professional and knowledgeable staff. They always take pride in providing the best care of their customers. They are located at 401 Highway 11 in Picayune. With fast, friendly service, let Pit Lane Oil Change be the pit stop for all your maintenance needs.
Looking for a peaceful home-like community for yourself or a loved one? Welcome to Jubilee Gardens Senior Living in charming Poplarville, Mississippi, just minutes from Hattiesburg and Gulfport. Imagine cozy, garden-themed suites with wide doorways, step-free entry, safety rails, and a covered porch perfect for sipping coffee while watching birds and butterflies. Feel supported, not overwhelmed. Our all-inclusive services include daily housekeeping, fresh home-cooked meals at our Birdhouse Bistro, and a calendar full of wellness programs and social activities. Families say we chose Jubilee Gardens because it felt like home. One resident shares, "I spend my mornings on the porch drinking coffee and watching the birds. It calms me in a way I never experienced before." To experience the comfort and independence of Jubilee Gardens yourself, call 601-818-4838 or email jubileegardens.care@gmail.com. We're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's Jubilee Gardens Senior Living with dignity, safety, and joy in every detail.
We are back here, folks. Milner Field halftime, Animal Health Clinic halftime show. About 9.5 minutes left till we start the second half. If you joined us late, Maroon Tide trails Gulfport here at their home, Milner Field, by a score of 21-13. Mr. Uzel, let's look around at what's going on around our district. We'll look at the Pearl River County teams, and we know Picayune's got Ocean Springs upcoming and some other teams like that. We'll take a look at them.
Yeah, we'll start off with our district, Rick. We got Bay High Tigers at PRC Blue Devils. The score on WLOX scoreboard tells us it's 14-0. PRC is leading that one at halftime. The last score that I have for Pascagoula Moss Point was Pascagoula 6, Moss Point 0. Long Beach Bearcats against Pass Christian 28-0. They're leading that one 28-0 at halftime. Pass is. Then we have the Stone Tomcats at Hancock. We have Stone winning that one at halftime 10-0. So they're leading that one against the Hawks 10-0. Stone is. And then finally we have Gaucher against George County, and Gaucher is leading that one 21-0. So that's our foes of the district right there. And
got a score for Poplarville?
Poplarville, I believe, was 21-13 or 21-12 at halftime. I believe it was 21-13 at halftime.
Who's Poplarville got this
West
week?
Harrison.
West Harrison, that's right. Rushing attack, yep.
West Harrison. So that's going to be a good game. I mean, if I was to pick, I'd go Peeville, but
Coach Beach mentioned it. He said he learned how much he hated the wing tee watching his film, preparing for West Harrison. So, Coach Quincy doing a good job there. And but hey, this is what we saw from Poplarville last year, right? These close ball games.
Man,
and
yes.
Yeah. So we'll see what goes on there.
I guess it conditioned them for the big one in Hattiesburg last year. I mean, it was they got them ready for a close game with Louisville. So go Hornets.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff going on. Pearl River Central in command of their game too. Got the new turf field.
Yep.
Talking ball, y'all crew covering that as well, and Poplarville. So Pearl River County, we've got you covered. About 7 minutes to go here before we start the second half, Darren. Something a little bit different for us. Going to talk a little bit of just sports around our local teams. So you were at PRCC last night.
Yep.
I had a chance to take that game in. Of course, your son, Kanan Uzel, on that team as well. It looked from my standpoint like there was just a boatload of Division I talent on the other side that was taking on PRCC there, which was Northwest, right?
Northwest, yes. The Rangers. And they were 6'8". I mean, 6'6", 6'7". I mean, I'm talking about on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, these were D1. It's D1 talent. I mean, there's no doubt about it. They live up to the billing of being number 3 in the nation. And PRCC hung in there with them the first quarter, and it was really back and forth, and a few costly mistakes PRCC made there, and something that I know Coach Seth Smith and Coach Trahan and Boykin, they'll all clean up. But man, the outlook is bright for PRCC, and we got a lot of talent as well. But we just ran into a buzzsaw last night, and listen, I won't be surprised at all if Northwest is not playing in the state championship on the north side. They are.
They certainly look good.
They're very good.
I thought they were pretty good when they checked their backup quarterback in and announced that he was out of Mount Olive, Mississippi, by way of Kentucky.
by way, and then had known by way of Missouri.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
my goodness.
A lot of talent out there, but
Yep.
yeah, we always root for PRCC, and we know how much Coach Smith puts into it. We're certainly pulling for them and believe that they'll turn things around.
And let me just go ahead and say this: Quentin Haynes and Amarion last night at linebacker.
Yeah.
Picayune, I'll be proud.
Yeah.
Picayune, I'll be proud. Them boys played last night and played their heart out, and I think Amarion had 13 tackles.
Amarion took a whole series over. From
yeah,
what I was
yeah, and then Quentin played some ball. I think he had 4 or 5 tackles solo.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, Picayune's got some ball players up there, too. They're fun to go watch, and if you can, go up there and support them. Picayune, Carrier, and Poplarville boys played on that team.
Yeah, PRCC back at home this coming Thursday, right?
Against Etowamba.
Against Etowamba, yeah. So Picayune alumni doing really well. We're about just under 5 minutes before the start of the second half here.
I got a question for you before we get there.
Yeah.
USM and State, brother, what we got tomorrow?
That
I hate to put you on the spot.
No, that was what I was going to ask you.
Don't ask me. I'm asking
you. USM and State.
I know who Clay's got.
You got the Huff era coming in. Here's the thing. I think USM's 14-point underdogs in this game. They've got a good team. That's a lot of the guys that came over from Marshall.
USM's what, 14-point?
14-point underdogs.
Oh, what?
I wouldn't be surprised if USM pulls an upset there.
Not me neither.
Yeah.
And I'm a Bulldog fan. I like State. I'm all State, but
yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah,
we'll
see what the Charles Huff era has, and another one to look at too. Just a question I had for you: Is it Texas and everybody else, or is the SEC kind of open? I don't see it as it's Texas and everybody else.
No.
Maybe it will be. But here's the thing: you got a lot of first year quarterbacks, young quarterbacks taking over. Look at Ohio State and Texas. That's 2 guys that's never. And look, I get it. Manning's good. Arch is going to be good.
Yeah.
But taking his first starting snaps here as kind of the guy. I know he came in and played a lot of some roles. Ohio State with a new quarterback as well. But you look at a team like South Carolina.
That's who
right outside of the really making the playoff. Probably beat LSU if their quarterback's healthy.
I mean, they beat Clemson.
Beat Clemson, yeah. So that I think the SEC is going to be fun. Any upsets? So I've got USM as an upset over State potentially, but any big games you see, we'll stay SEC for upsets.
Oh, man, look at you. Oh, man. I think Clemson Clemson's picked to win that game anyway, but LSU's going to – it's going to be tough for LSU to go in there and win tomorrow night, man. As bad as you want to see the SEC win and LSU pull that one out, Clemson, it's going to be a tough one tomorrow. Winning at Ohio State, Texas winning at Ohio State is going to be tough.
It's going to be tough.
I know they're getting points. Ohio State is too, but I don't know. The University of Southern Marshall probably going to be the biggest upset tomorrow.
Yeah,
I mean, really, that's what it is.
A lot of those kids transfer ported over. Won the conference, did pretty good. So one of USM's players was at tight end for Northwest last night too.
Was he?
Yeah, 81 that made a couple of catches for them.
Yeah, he was big. I think he scored.
Yeah, he did get in. So USM and State, we'll stay with that one as our upset pick of the weekend. Look,
yeah, I hate to do it. I hope I could come up here next Friday night like, man, I was wrong. I'll eat my crow, and because I do, I hope Mississippi State wins tomorrow. It's gonna be a warm game. It might rain a little bit tomorrow too. There's a chance of rain, but still, man, I don't know, brother. I'm just kind of
14-point dogs, man, is a lot at the Rock, and I know Coach Huff's going to have those guys amped up,
Mississippi State. If you're a Mississippi State fan, you look forward to baseball season. You know, it's coming up. It should be pretty good. But we're in football season. Go State, Hell State.
Yeah, and I had just so you can see, I had it wrote down here. USM, that was the question I was going to ask you. Pearl River, then
I got you.
USM and State.
I see it.
So we're about a minute and a half here from second half action. We got a good one brewing here in Milner Field. You don't want to go anywhere, folks. Appreciate Darren Uzell.
Oh, man, always thanks for having me, man.
Always enjoy having you up here. We want to thank Dr. Alan Smith and the Animal Health Clinic for sponsoring our halftime show. When we come back from commercial break, join me back in the booth for the second half call will be the voice of the Maroon Tide. For the Talking Ball Y'all Media Group, Mr. Clay Sweet. Second half action right around the corner, folks.
Roll Tide.
Looking for a peaceful home-like community for yourself or a loved one? Welcome to Jubilee Gardens Senior Living in charming Poplarville, Mississippi, just minutes from Hattiesburg and Gulfport. Imagine cozy, garden-themed suites with wide doorways, step-free entry, safety rails, and a covered porch perfect for sipping coffee while watching birds and butterflies. Feel supported, not overwhelmed. Our all-inclusive services include daily housekeeping, fresh home-cooked meals at our Birdhouse Bistro, and a calendar full of wellness programs and social activities.
Healthy pets, happy people, exceptional medicine, compassionate care. That's our motto at the Animal Health Clinic in Picayune. Located at 500 Kelly Road, we are equipped with the latest veterinary technology and provide a full menu of animal health services, including after-hours emergencies. Dr. Alan Smith invites you to join our clinic family by checking out our website at ahcpicayune.com or calling us at 601-799-1300.
Since 2017, Cruz Law Firm has proudly served the people of South Mississippi with dedication, skill, and results. Whether you are facing a complex legal battle or simply need trusted guidance, our team will work tirelessly to deliver the outcome you deserve. Bill and his experienced team handle a wide range of legal matters, from real estate closings to personal injury, and from wills and probate to criminal defense. We've got you covered. When life gets complicated, we're here to simplify the process and fight for you. With 2 convenient locations in Pearl River County, Cruz Law Firm is ready to stand by your side. Call 769-242-2500 to schedule a consultation for your specific need. That's 769-242-2500, because your future is worth fighting for.
Exotic Stone specializes in a variety of natural and manufactured stone and has proudly provided exceptional service, quality work, and low prices to the residents of Pearl River County and beyond for the past 17 years. They have 2 locations, 6895 Highway 11 in Carriere or 1171 Highway 90 in Bay St. Louis. Exotic Stones is ready to support all your commercial and residential projects. Give Angela Burmaster a call at 504-606-3170 or stop by one of their convenient locations to view their selection or to request a quote, and you'll be happy that you made Exotic Stones your choice.
Appreciate Darren Uzel, as usual, with our Animal Health Clinic halftime show. That spot, I know that's fun for 2 buddies like you and him are, to be able to catch up and be able to talk some football at the half, Rick. And, man, this has been that we were able to call Picayune versus Ocean Springs. He's since helped us in several ways, along with baseball duties. But anyway, he was a guard on the state championship clubs for Picayune, so he knows the game. He's upstairs helping with this coaching staff. And, you know, we just kind of talked about it. Kind of is what we expected it to be, Rick. Tough battle between 2 really good teams. Picayune going to get it to start the second half. Platt's got it teed up for Gulfport back at his 40. He's hit a line drive to Fortenberry. Fortenberry maybe with a little room here to operate. Tries to bounce it out left. He's come back right. He's made it to the 46 of Picayune. I'm telling you, Rick, he is hard to get down to the ground. He is Mr. Fortenberry. A good return to the 46. That's a good start to the half. Tide trail at 21-13. See what the Tide can do with this opening possession.
Yeah, it's a really good start, Clay, and I'm confused why the clock didn't run.
Oh, that's a good point by you, as it is still 12 minutes showing on the clock. Of course, that's what it started with before the kick, so I don't think the officials have noticed it, Rick. When you look at the yardage tagged to that run, as he'll be able to pick up about a 12-yard gain to the 42-yard line of Gulfport.
And, boy, a great block by A.K. Burnett sealed that for Dennis.
So Good job there by the guard and Burnett. That's two good guards, as we were talking about Peyton Wells and his guard play in his day for the Tide. What about these guards? You've got Bolden on one side, Burnett on the other. Speaking of other side, Tide have it of the other side of midfield to the 43 of Gulfport.
Nice 11-yard pickup there by Zay.
Band from Gulfport trying to make it tough on the Tide. That was another good block pulling there for the Tide. Also Burnett, the fullback. And about a 5-yard pickup there for Zay. Zay operating in some space, Rick. I know you gave the numbers at the half, but with a good start here and a timeout on the field due to an injury, let's update Zay Dennis's numbers.
So adding that second carry in there, that's going to put Zay at 13 rushes for 85 yards. He is well on his way to the 100-yard mark here.
Yeah, we always talk about that kit number, that per number, and that's, I think, a big one for Picayune offense, and it's been pretty good for the Tide against a good front line. We just saw one of the better players on that front line from Gulfport have to check out. We're going to hope for his sake and for all involved that it was just cramps. That was Dre Peters, the 6', 215-pound linebacker. Jordan Hathorn was at the wing on the right, and Colt Robertson just didn't get it from the center there, Rick. He went to start the play but didn't have the pigskin. It still laid back at the 40. So no gain on the play. Not a big loss either, but it will set up now a 3rd and 6. Ball at the 40 of Gulfport. A good return by Fortenberry. 2 good runs by Dennis. And then this play from the Tide.
Yeah, Colt does a good job of just getting that one back, reaches one hand in there and just kind of snatches it out.
He's under center. 2 wides to the left of the formation. It's a pitch back to the right. Dancing around looking for a spot to dive forward is Dennis. He will do so to the tune of about the 37-yard line. Going to bring up 4th and 5, Rick. Just out of the locker room, it's tough for an announcer or broadcaster to call it big, but I guess I will. 21-13, and this is a pretty big 4th down as Tide inside the 40-yard line of Gulfport. Probably have to get it to about the 31-yard line to have a first down. Gulfport making a late substitution on their defensive line. Tide going to put Hathorn at the wing on the right side. Adarius Fortenberry over at the wide receiver spot, pulled out nicely, blocked. Does he have enough for the first down? Going to be awfully close, Ricky Whitaker. I said he needed to get it to the 31. That's about where that tackle took place. They'll move the sticks quickly. I like it. Don't look too hard. I think that was closer than what they think, but they will wave it forward and give the Tide the first down.
Yeah, really, really good play there. It looked like it was going to be Power going to Power side, but he goes oppo and makes the most of it.
It's Hathorn going from right to left in the formation. It's a give to Burnett. What's the Tide trying to do with that formation where you get Hathorn going from the slot or the wing extended, going from right to left, and then you give it to the fullback? A little eye candy there.
Yeah, a little eye candy there, and you have an option to possibly put it in his belly. I'm sure there's a coach up in the booth, that might be Mr. Peyton Wells, that's looking to see how the defense is reacting to that motion and what they can come back and do in that place. Really good sign for Picayune, too, that, I believe Peters has now checked back in. No, he hasn't. Their better player on defense out getting what we think is cramps massaged out.
McKinley over at the wingback spot. Jump there, Rick, and he's going to move 5 as you hear the false start ring out from the PA announcer. Going to back the Tide up 5. Some of this first game stuff of the year. It's just a sophomore, McKinley. Bit anxious, moves, going to bring it back 5 to the 35 of Gulfport. 2nd and 13. Tide trail it by 8. 21-13 our score. 7:50 remain in the ball game. That's Junior James, the wide receiver to the right. Really good speed at that spot. There's a give to Colin Agana. Agana with a nice run. Agana's been good tonight for the Tide, both defensively And on the offensive side, hands it to the 25. The Aganas, they make good football players.
Yes, they
really do. A legendary linebacker from years ago.
It's 10 yards pick up there by Agana, and Agana on the night, he hasn't touched it a lot, only 4 times, but he's got 32 yards, and he's got a reception for 9 yards.
Pretty good from the fullback spot. Cam Agana, the little brother, is going to be a good one as well in the 9th grade level. Here's a toss to Moto. Moto lowers his head. That's a physical finish by Moto. Moto thought to be kind of a Ferrari, just burner speed, Rick, but he showed me something there. Lowered the head at the 20. It brought him down to the 18-yard line. He's a really, really good-looking frame. 6'1", 170. Sprinter-type speed, but he lowered his shoulder.
Yeah, Moto, another one, only touched it 3 times, 28 yards on three carries. That's almost 10 yards a carry. That's a pretty good average.
A wide receiver to each side of this set. It's Fortenberry and McKinley. There's something they like. In the belly of Agana and down to the 9-yard line goes Kylan. Good job there with the play call, a good execution up front. Look at Wilkins fighting off these cramps, Rick. He's got that cramp-type walk where he's stiffening both legs, but he's done it every play this drive. He's yet to call somebody to check him out, but Ontario really fighting through something for his teammates. It'll be 1st and goal from just inside the 10. You've got a 2 wide receiver set over to the left. That's Illett and McKinley. You've got Agana and Hathorn, Moto behind. It's the pitch to Jamari. Didn't catch it initially, fumbled it, went back, picked it up, and then still tried to run with it. That was a disaster. That was evaded from the tie. That could have been really bad, Rick. Instead, you'll live to fight another day, as you're probably taught to just dive on that football, I bet, from Hathorn's standpoint. But
yeah,
he went and got it and tried to make a run of it. Long story short, it will be 2nd and goal from the 11. Sorry, Rick.
No, I was going to say Moto did a good job of picking it up and just getting forward. Didn't try to get outside and get a bigger loss for the Tide, so almost gets it back to even par.
Agana at the fullback is Dennis at the tail. At the wing was Jordan Hathorn going from left to right. And they faked it basically to those first 2 guys that I described, the fullback and the tailback. A lot of motion there before you put it in the belly of the wing back. And Jordan Hathorn. And bad news here. There's going to be a timeout on the field. This may have been a heat timeout that's coinciding with Jordan Hathorn being banged up. And another play that didn't result in hardly anything, maybe a yard, has it 3rd and goal from the 9. So double bad news, Rick. Stops tonight, Rick. And some of that you want to blame on first game stuff. Stops tonight, Rick. And some of that you want to blame on first game stuff, but Gulfport's front line's going to do that, you would think, to some folks. And you remember last year at this time, I mean, we were making our dinner plans, trying to figure out what was going to be after, as this would become a runaway, and that one kind of late as Gulfport was able to run away from Picayune. And just a brag on that team from Picayune a year ago, right, Rick? Not a letdown at all, and really wasn't the most talented roster that Coach Stogner has had. I really think this staff, this group led by Cody, had their best coaching year a year ago. Got a team to really come together, fight all in one direction, just a couple plays from competing for a state championship.
I think that's a really good call by you, and I think, too, it speaks to the culture that these players have developed and the expectations. They know what's expected out of them, and it's high expectations every year.
3rd and goal from the 9-yard line. 4:40 left in the 3rd. Todd Trellett wide open in the end zone was Wilkins, and we talked about the cramps, Rick. I don't think he could extend for the football. I've said it a couple times on this drive. Ontario's been fighting cramps, and I really don't think, and if you've ever had one grab you when you try to kind of lift, that ball was maybe just a touch high, and it looked like as Ontario went to grab it, Rick, he just couldn't stretch that body out, which is super unfortunate. I mean, what was it, 3 plays ago, I bragged on him for fighting it out. It was a great play call. It was a play fake. Everybody bit. The linebackers peeked in, and we kind of returned the favor on their play that Gulfport scored on their touchdown pass to a tight end. Wilkins was open. Ball, I don't know if we'll ever know if it was like a touch high or if it was just that he couldn't stretch out.
Plays is going to come out and attempt that field goal.
Yeah, Cruz is a kid that you can see in your frame if you're watching on the YouTube channel. And if you are, by the way, we certainly appreciate you doing that. If you could share the good news, if you're enjoying that with others, that would certainly be appreciated. As it indeed will be a field goal attempt. Tanner Rayburn going to hold it at the 16-yard line. McKinley will snap it back. It's going to be a 26-yard attempt and center cut right down Beach Boulevard here as Cruz knocks it home.
See him in action. He's got great feet, and see him in action. He's got great feet, and that's what you need for an offensive lineman, and he's got a powerful leg to go with it.
Yeah, fun to be around is Mr. Cruz. He's got it teed up over on the right hash back at his 40-yard line. So cut that lead, Rick. That was that ominous kind of 8-point lead for Gulfport where you had to have 2 things go right to catch them right, a touchdown and then a 2-point conversion. Now you've got that to 5. I like down and then a 2-point conversion. Now you've got that to 5. I like that lead.